Hey guys, it's Story. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be giving you guys some recommendations on what to watch on Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, Amazon, the whole shebang, all the streaming services while you are being quarantined. Okay, disclaimer, I am not making fun of the current epidemic. I'm not downplaying it. I realize some serious shit has happened and I'm just trying to lighten the mood and give you some recommendations on what to watch while you have to stay inside. We're all gonna be bored, okay? So let's just watch some shit that's gonna entertain us. If you're new to my channel, the subscribe button is down below, or maybe you see it on the screen. Right here, I talk about books, movies, music. I actually haven't made a music video yet. Oh God, I hope I never make a music video. Okay, yeah. But for now, I have been making books and movie/TV videos, so if you want to see more, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you feel like it, I would really appreciate it, and let's go ahead and get into my recommendations. Should I start with shows? I feel like most people binge shows and don't really binge like 3 or 4 movies in a row, so I'm gonna go ahead and start with my recommendations for shows, and then we will get on to movies/documentaries. I don't know if you consider documentaries movies, but those are the categories. The first show I have to recommend to you guys is on Hulu, and it is called Dave. Yes. This is a brand new show starring Lil Dicky. If you don't know who Lil Dicky is, just go listen to his music. It's very unique, very peculiar, but this show is so funny. There's only 3 episodes out right now, so this isn't a very good recommendation, but this show is hilarious. If you want a good laugh, check this one out. The next one is on Netflix, and it is You. I know that so many people love this show, and I'm kind of late on the bandwagon, but I am about to finish the book right now. We went ahead and started watching this show. We've seen the first 3 episodes, and it is so good. I'm trying not to watch the entire season so that I can finish the book first, but it is so good. If you haven't heard about it yet, you probably have, but we're following a stalker, and it is a very likable stalker. He's like the villain you love, like you want to see good things happen to. So it's very conflicting, but like the show is very well made. There's great cinematography. Characters are phenomenal. The actors are phenomenal. If you haven't seen it yet, just go ahead and start it. I'm gonna have to stop after season 1 so that I can read the second book. So sticking to Netflix, the next 2 shows are for the people out there that love reality TV, and in my opinion, these are the best 2 reality TV shows on Netflix right now. Granted, they're the only ones I've seen so far. I don't really want to waste any more time watching their reality shows though, so I don't know if I'll see any more, but the first one is The Circle. If you haven't seen The Circle yet and you like reality TV, you need to see The Circle. So each person has their own apartment, but they cannot have any contact with the other contestants. They can only communicate with them through something called The Circle, which is an automated voice system representing social media. You can catfish people, you can be yourself. They have games and like surprise things happening. There's like a new contestant every episode. It's so entertaining. When I started watching it, it was purely to make fun of it, but it ended up being amazing. And any person that has watched this will tell you that they are obsessed with it. So please watch The Circle if you like reality TV. The second one is the infamous Love is Blind. If you have Netflix, you have seen this everywhere. It's been in their top 10 for a while now. And it's because it is such a good show to make fun of. It is the cringiest reality TV show I've ever seen. So basically they have a bunch of guys, a bunch of girls that are looking to get married. They're at that point in their life where they're like, okay, let me try this out, where they can't see the other person before they are engaged. So they talk through walls to multiple people and try to figure out who they have an emotional connection with without ever seeing them. They get engaged before they see them, and then they meet each other, and then it just goes from there. They'll have honeymoons. There's drama between contestants because they've technically dated each other, and then by the time of the wedding they get to decide if they're going to actually marry this person or not. And it is so entertaining, so cringy, but if you want a good reality show to make fun of but also be obsessed with at the same time, because you'll be obsessed with it, then you need to watch this. So a show I watched last Halloween season that I really love. I know again this is a trendy show, so it's nothing new, but that is The Haunting of Hill House. Oh my god. Oh, this is such a good show. If you love dark, creepy shit, then you're going to like The Haunting of Hill House. The way they set up the episodes is just awesome. The characters are awesome. It actually genuinely freaks you out. It is a horror TV show. It is amazing. You see the children as children, but then you also see them in the future as adults. And they go back and forth, and so much stuff is happening like between these characters who are all related. It's such a good show. If you want a good scare, but also like be totally obsessed with the drama, then watch that. I'm gonna go ahead and recommend 2 shows that I always recommend everyone watch on Netflix. Anytime someone asks for recommendations, these are like my top 2 depending on what the person likes. And the first one is Black Mirror. This is my favorite show ever. I think it's my favorite show ever. It's definitely my favorite show on Netflix. I'll link my top 10 Netflix shows down below. It needs an update real bad. I'll be doing one soon. But spoiler, Black Mirror is number 1 on that list. If you haven't seen Black Mirror, I just don't even want to say anything. Just go watch it. You actually don't even have to watch the shows in order. So every episode is a different set of characters, a different place, a different plot, a different timeline. But you should know that it is set in the future, the near distant future. Every episode deals with some type of technological advancement, whether it's something you can think of quickly, like there's one about this thing in your eye that records. It's like a camera in your eye that records, so you have all your memories saved in your brain, so you can always like pull them out. Like there's one about politics. I don't know. It's hard to explain. You just need to start watching it if you haven't already. It's so good because this is stuff that could possibly happen. And the reason it's called Black Mirror is because at the end of every episode, the screen goes black so that you yourself can look in a black mirror, reflect on yourself, and it's just more than a normal TV show. And I just recommend this to everyone. Please go watch this if you haven't already. The next one is a little different. The next one is Vampire Diaries. This is my favorite drama ever. I watched Vampire Diaries when it was on air, actually, all the way up until it was off air. I loved Vampire Diaries. I watched it, 8 years. If you love those typical traditional like drama shows, you're going to love Vampire Diaries. I've known girls that are obsessed with it. I know guys that are obsessed with it. Obviously it's about vampires, but there's also humans in there, witches, werewolves, and if you don't like fantasy, like trust me, it's not really heavy on the fantasy, it's heavy on the drama. There's a bunch of characters. You get super obsessed with this small little fantasy town. It's really good. There's 8 seasons for a reason. People were obsessed with this show. If someone came to me and asked me for a show that is just addicting, the most addicting show I've ever seen, I would tell them Vampire Diaries. So the next 2 I'm going to talk about are docu-series, and I'm not big on documentaries or docu-series, but I loved both of these so much. And the first one is The Pharmacist. So I can't decide which one I like better, but The Pharmacist is one of those where as soon as you end one episode, you have to start the next one. Again, if you're not big on documentaries or docu-series, it's okay. Like these 2 you will probably love. The Pharmacist is about so many different things, and I don't want to spoil it because it starts to make you think it's about one thing and it ends up being another thing, and they all just like come together, and it's really good at overlapping in like the overall story. So I don't want to spoil anything, but I will say that the guy we are talking to, the main guy, is a pharmacist, and he's been a pharmacist since the 70s, I think it was, maybe 80s, and it just goes from there. And it's a really good docu-series. You just start it, give it a chance. You'll like it. That one's on Netflix, if I didn't mention. But the next one I have to recommend is the Hillary docu-series. If you like politics, you'll obviously want to see this, but if you don't like politics, you might want to see this too. She goes over the 2016 presidential debate, but she also goes over kind of like her start into politics when she's young, when she's in school, when she first meets Bill Clinton. It's just really good to educate yourself if you live in America and you're not big on politics. Why not learn a little more about one of our presidential candidates? I feel like everyone should watch it. I'm not huge into politics, but I am a Hillary supporter and I liked it. My boyfriend is very into politics and is not a Hillary supporter and liked it, so anyone can watch it and will like it. Then the only other shows I really wrote down was to binge some Disney shows, like old throwback Disney shows. So if you absolutely have nothing to watch, you cannot go wrong with binging old Disney shows, honestly. My next one I'm going to binge is Phil of the Future. I don't know when I'm gonna do that because I still haven't finished Lizzie McGuire from back when Disney Plus first started. So once I finish Lizzie McGuire, I'm gonna start Phil of the Future because it's freaking Phil of the Future. The only problem I have with Disney shows is that I will get very bored though, so it's usually something I play in the background as I'm doing other things. So I wouldn't recommend this if you want to be like totally zoned into a show and like be obsessed with it, but it's always very like nostalgic to re-watch a show from when you were younger. And now let's jump into movies and documentaries. The first couple I'm going to recommend are on Netflix, and that is Contagion. Just watch it. The next one I believe is a show. I can't remember if it's a show or a movie. I think it's a show. So fast forward back to shows. You should look into watching Pandemic if you feel like it. If you don't want to escape reality, then you should watch these two things, because so I don't have a lot of movies because I realized that 3 things on this list were actually series and I didn't realize, so I just added them to shows real quick. But getting back to movies, if you want a good laugh, then you need to watch The Disaster Artist on Amazon. Is it on Amazon? I think so. I'm a little biased because I absolutely love Seth Rogen and James Franco. They're one of my 2 favorite actors. One of my 2 favorite comedians. Is James Franco a comedian? Actually don't know, but I love them both. They're hilarious. They make me laugh. The Disaster Artist is way underrated. You just can't go wrong with these 2. I remember when this first came out and I watched it for the first time, I didn't think it was gonna be anything and I was dying laughing. I watched it for a second time and it was just as funny. Pineapple Express is one of my favorite movies, so I just love these 2 together. They're great. The other one I have is The Interview. So again, The Interview is great. It's on Netflix, and these are both quick watches. I'm pretty sure they're not very long. If you don't know what The Interview is, just Google it before you watch it, and you'll learn a little bit about what happened with that movie. The other one I have is not expected to be on this list, and that is Wrinkles the Clown. So I've been doing this thing every month where I talk about everything that is coming to Netflix and Hulu in the month, and the very first one I did was for February, or it might have been March. I saw the Wrinkles the Clown cover and I was just like, what in the hell is that? But it's actually really good. So if you remember all of the clown nonsense that happened a while back, this is kind of an explanation of it. It all kind of started with Wrinkles the Clown, or maybe I shouldn't give him that much credit, but I was on a roller coaster watching this because I thought this documentary was horrible, and then it got really good, and then I was like, wait, what's going on? And then it got even better, and I just want you to go through that same experience. The last recommendation I have, and I'm ending on a strong one, is any Will Ferrell movie you can find. So Netflix has been adding a lot of Will Ferrell movies. There is Semi-Pro, there is The Other Guys, there is Step Brothers, and I'm sure there are more out there, but those are the 3 that I know and can think of at the moment. And honestly, anything Will Ferrell is good. I've mentioned this on my channel before, but like, Will Ferrell is like the top dog, man. I just love... They're like throwbacks. They're almost like nostalgic in a sense. He's just so freaking funny. He can make anyone laugh. All right, that is it for my streaming services recommendations. I don't know, quarantine recommendations, however you want to say it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you feel like it. I would really appreciate it, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!